Chosen one, listen closely, for this moment pulses with divine intention, a sacred call woven into the very air you breathe. You haven't stumbled upon these words by chance. The quiet stirring in your soul, the quickening of your heart as you read, is evidence that God has aligned the stars for you, one of the rare few, to step into a purpose that shines with eternal promise. Envision a celestial river, its waters shimmering with light, your name carved in its currents, flowing toward a destiny that will transform not only your life, but the lives of those drawn to your radiance. This is your time, not a fleeting wish for tomorrow, but a holy now, alive with possibility. What if the fears you've carried, heavy as stone, are the very keys God has placed in your hands to unlock a life of divine abundance? Let's embrace that truth together. You've been through the fire, haven't you? The sleepless nights when doubt whispered lies, the moments when you wondered if your prayers were even heard, the times when the world seemed to press against you, trying to dim your light. Maybe you faced financial strain, watching bills pile up while your dreams felt like distant stars. Perhaps you've carried the weight of betrayal, the sting of being misunderstood, or the ache of opportunities that slipped through your fingers. You've questioned yourself, wondering if you're enough, if your faith is strong enough, if your purpose is real. But chosen one, hear this. Every tear you've shed, every battle you fought, every moment you chose to keep going despite the pain, it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God wasn't breaking you. He was building you. Like a diamond formed under pressure, your struggles have been shaping you into someone unbreakable, someone destined for abundance, someone ready for a prosperous life. The Bible declares in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. You are called, and this is your faith journey unfolding. This video is different. It's not about dwelling on the pain, but about unveiling how your deepest fears are the very doorways to your greatest breakthroughs. That's the unique angle we're exploring today. Fear isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to personal transformation. Think about it. When David faced Goliath, his fear didn't disqualify him. It propelled him to pick up the stone. When Esther stood before the king, her trembling heart didn't stop her. It carried her into a moment that saved a nation. Your fear, whether it's fear of failure, fear of not being enough, or fear of stepping into the unknown, is not a barrier. It's a signal that you're standing at the edge of your divine provision, your spiritual awakening, your moment of overflow. Picture yourself at the edge of a radiant cliff, the wind of heaven at your back, urging you to leap into a life of purpose and prosperity. The world may tell you to shrink, to play it safe, but God is whispering, "Step forward, chosen one. I've already gone before you." Let me share a story to make this real. There was a woman named Sarah, a single mother in a small town, who felt trapped by fear. Her job barely covered the rent, and every month was a juggling act to keep the lights on. She dreamed of starting a small bakery, a place where her love for creating could shine, but fear held her back. What if she failed? What if she couldn't provide for her daughter? One night, exhausted and praying through tears, she felt a quiet nudge in her spirit. Take the first step. The next day, she wrote down her vision for the bakery, just one page of ideas. That small act of courage led her to a local community center where she met a mentor who connected her with a small business grant. Within a year, Sarah's bakery was opened, not just paying her bills, but becoming a gathering place for her community. Her fear didn't vanish overnight, but it became the fuel for her breakthrough. That's what God's plan looks like. It takes your fear and turns it into a testimony of divine provision. Now, chosen one, let's talk about you. You're not just watching this video. You're being invited to step into a life where fear no longer writes your story. The world may have taught you to see fear as a stop sign, but God sees it as a starting line. Your financial struggles, they're not the end, they're the setup for wealth creation. Your loneliness, it's not rejection, it's God clearing space for divine connections. Your doubts, they're not weaknesses. They're the raw material for a faith journey that will inspire others. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." You are powerful, loved, and clear-headed, even when the world feels chaotic. You are one of the rare few, chosen to rise above fear and walk into a prosperous life. If this message is stirring something in your soul, if it's igniting a spark of hope, consider supporting this ministry through Super Thanks. Your generosity helps us spread this message of divine provision to more chosen ones like you, lighting the path to their breakthroughs. Together, we're building a community of faith and abundance. So, what does it mean to be one of the rare few? It means you're not meant to blend in, to settle for a life of scarcity or smallness. You're meant to shine, to create, to lead, to overflow with blessings that touch others. Picture a river, its waters sparkling under the sun, flowing endlessly, nourishing everything it touches. That's your life when you step into your destiny. Abundant, life-giving, unstoppable. But stepping into that destiny requires action, not just inspiration. Let's make this practical with 3 specific steps you can take today to turn your fear into fuel for your breakthrough. These aren't vague ideas. They're clear, relatable actions to anchor your faith in the real world. First, write your vision. Take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down one dream you've been afraid to pursue. It could be starting a business, forgiving someone who hurt you, or even believing in your own worth. Be specific. Write what you want to see happen this week, this month, or this year. Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it." Writing it down isn't just a task, it's a prophetic act, a declaration that you're ready for God's plan to unfold. Second, take one bold step. Identify one action you can take today to move toward that vision, no matter how small. If your dream is to start a project, research one resource or make one phone call. If it's reconciliation, send a kind message to someone you've been distant from. If it's financial freedom, create a simple budget to track your spending. This step doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be brave. Like Sarah with her bakery. One step can open doors you never imagined. Third, speak life over your fear. Every time fear creeps in, counter it with a truth from God's word. Say out loud, "I am chosen, I am funded, I am ready." Or use Psalm 23:1, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Speak it in the mirror, in your car, in the quiet of your heart. Your words have power. Proverbs 18:21 says, "The tongue has the power of life and death." When you speak life, you're aligning your spirit with heaven's truth, dismantling fear's grip. These 3 steps. Write your vision. Take one bold step. Speak life over your fear. Are your roadmap to start living as one of the rare few. They're not complicated, but they're powerful because they root your faith in action. You don't need to wait for permission or perfect timing. You are ready now, chosen one, because God has already equipped you. If this message is resonating, if you feel your spirit saying, "This is for me," type, "I am one of the rare few" in the comments below. Let heaven see your declaration and join a community of chosen souls stepping into their divine purpose together. Now, let's go deeper. What if the fear you're facing isn't just a feeling, but a divine invitation? Imagine a locked door, ancient and carved with intricate designs, standing between you and your destiny. The key isn't money, status, or even confidence. It's the courage to face your fear and turn the handle. Every time you choose courage, you're not just moving forward. You're unlocking a new level of God's plan for your life. Think about Moses, trembling as he stood before the Red Sea. His people trapped, his enemies closing in. His fear was real, but God said, "Raise your staff." Exodus 14:16. That act of obedience parted the waters. Your obedience, your small yes in the face of fear, can part the impossible in your life too. Let's make this personal. Maybe your fear is tied to a dream you've buried, a career change, a creative project, a leap of faith you've delayed because it feels too big, or maybe it's relational, the fear of being vulnerable again after being hurt. I met a man named James, a carpenter with a gift for teaching, who feared stepping into leadership because he'd been overlooked his whole life. He felt unqualified, invisible. But one day, he shared his story at a church group, nervous but honest. That moment led to an invitation to mentor young men in his community. Today, James runs a program that's changing lives, all because he faced his fear of being seen. Your fear, chosen one, is hiding a gift the world needs. What if embracing it unlocks the abundance God has stored for you? The Bible is clear. Fear doesn't get the final word. Isaiah 41:10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." You're not alone in this. God is your strength, your guide, your provider. He's not just promising you survival, he's promising you a prosperous life, overflowing blessings, a destiny that radiates his glory. Picture a field, once barren, now bursting with vibrant flowers, each petal a testimony of God's faithfulness. That's your life when you let go of fear and trust his timing. But here's where it gets real. Stepping into your destiny means letting go of what's familiar. The old mindset that says, "I'm not ready," the habits that keep you stuck, the relationships that drain your light, they can't come with you. This is a season of release, of making room for the new. Like a tree shedding dry leaves to make way for new growth, you're being called to let go of fear's grip. It's not easy, but it's holy. And every time you choose faith over fear, you're planting seeds for a harvest of personal transformation. Chosen one, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to the familiar, where fear keeps you small. The other leads to the unknown, where God's plan waits to unfold. The choice is yours, but know this: you were made for the extraordinary. You're one of the rare few called to live a life of purpose, prosperity, and impact. So, what's the next step you're afraid to take? What dream is stirring in your heart, waiting for you to say yes? The answer is closer than you think, and it's tied to the courage God has already placed within you. But what if the fear you're facing is the very doorway to your divine provision? Chosen one, let's linger in that question for a moment, because it's not just a thought. It's a divine spark, a holy nudge urging you to see beyond the fear that's held you back. What if the very thing you've been avoiding, the step that feels too big, the dream that seems too bold, is the exact path God has carved for your breakthrough? Picture a mountain trail shrouded in mist, where every step feels uncertain, yet each one reveals a new vista, a new promise. That's your faith journey right now, one step at a time, guided by a light you can't always see, but can always trust. You're not just walking toward a goal, you're walking toward a destiny that's been written in the stars since before time began. The fear you feel, it's not a wall, it's a doorway, glowing with the promise of abundance, waiting for you to cross the threshold. Let's make this vivid. Imagine a riverbank where you stand, the water rushing before you. its current strong but inviting. On the other side lies a land of overflowing blessings, opportunities you've prayed for, connections you've longed for, a prosperous life that feels like home. The only way across is to step into the water, to trust that the current won't sweep you away, but carry you to where you're meant to be. That's what God is asking of you now, to step into the unknown, not recklessly, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows the Creator is holding the map. Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Your fear is real, but God's presence is stronger. Your doubts may whisper, but his voice roars. Now let's talk about what's on the other side of that river. It's not just financial freedom or a new job, though those may come. It's a life where your purpose shines so brightly it lights the way for others. It's a season where your creativity flows like a spring, where your relationships are rooted in mutual honor, where your peace is unshakable even when storms rage. You're not just chasing prosperity, you're stepping into a divine flow, where provision meets purpose. Think of a woman named Rachel, who spent years in a toxic workplace, her talents overlooked, her spirit drained. Fear kept her there, fear of change, fear of failure, but one day she wrote down her vision to become a life coach, a dream she'd buried for a decade. She took a bold step, enrolling in a single online course. That step led to a mentor, then a client, then a thriving practice that now helps others find their own breakthroughs. Rachel's fear didn't disappear, but it became her compass, pointing her toward her divine purpose. You, chosen one, are no different. Your fear is a signal that something sacred is stirring. Maybe it's the fear of speaking up, of launching that idea, of forgiving someone who doesn't deserve it. Whatever it is, God is using it to prepare you for a life of impact. He's not asking you to be fearless, he's asking you to be faithful. Each time you choose faith over fear, you're building a bridge to your destiny. Picture that bridge, sturdy and radiant, each plank laid by your courage, each step a testimony of God's provision. You're not alone on this bridge. Angels walk beside you, heaven cheers you on, and the Holy Spirit whispers guidance in every moment. Let's anchor this in truth. Philippians 4:13 declares, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." This isn't just a verse. It's a promise that your strength doesn't come from your bank account, your resume, or your past victories. It comes from the one who calls you chosen, who sees your potential when you can't. Your fears may tell you you're not ready, but God says you're equipped. Your doubts may say you're too late, but God says you're right on time. Your struggles may feel like dead ends, but God says they're divine detours, leading you to a place of overflow where every need is met, every dream is possible, and every step is covered by grace. Now, let's get practical again, because inspiration without action is like a seed that never touches soil. You already have 3 steps. Write your vision, take one bold step, speak life over your fear. These are your foundation, your starting point. Let's add a 4th. Create a sacred space. Set aside 5 minutes each day, whether in your bedroom, your car, or a quiet corner, to connect with God's presence. No distractions, no phone, just you and the Creator. Speak your gratitude, name one thing you're thankful for, and ask for clarity. This isn't just prayer, it's a holy pause that aligns your spirit with heaven's rhythm. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." In that stillness you'll hear the whispers of your divine purpose, the nudges that guide your next step. Your 5th and final step, share your light. Find one way this week to encourage someone else. It could be a kind word to a coworker, a note to a friend, or a small act of generosity. Your light isn't just for you. It's meant to shine through you, touching others with hope. Galatians 6:9 reminds us, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." When you share your light, you're planting seeds for your own harvest, creating ripples of abundance that return to you multiplied. These 5 steps: write your vision, take one bold step, speak life over your fear, create a sacred space, share your light, are your blueprint for stepping into your destiny. They are simple but sacred, practical but powerful. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start where you are, with what you have. God doesn't require perfection, He requires obedience. And every act of obedience is a key that unlocks another piece of your prosperous life. If this message is igniting your spirit, if you feel the call to rise as one of the rare few, type "My destiny is unfolding" in the comments below. Let the world see your faith and join a community of believers who are stepping boldly into their God-given purpose. Now, let's dive deeper into what it means to live as one of the rare few. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being fully yourself, the version God created before the world tried to shape you. Picture a lighthouse, standing tall against crashing waves, its beam cutting through the darkest storms. That's you, unshaken, radiant, guiding others even when you feel the weight of the world. Being one of the rare few means you carry a divine assignment, a purpose so unique that no one else can fulfill it. Your fears, your struggles, your dreams, they're all part of the blueprint God is using to build something eternal through you. Consider a man named Daniel, not the biblical one, but a modern-day chosen one. He grew up in a family where dreams were dismissed, where stability was prized over passion. Daniel loved music, but fear of rejection kept him from sharing his songs. For years he worked a job that paid the bills but drained his soul. One day, in his sacred space, a quiet park bench, he wrote a song about hope, inspired by Psalm 27:1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" He shared it with a friend who encouraged him to post it online. That single act of courage led to a viral video, then a local performance, then a career that now inspires thousands. Daniel's fear didn't disqualify him. It was the doorway to his divine moment. Your fear, chosen one, is doing the same. It's pointing you to the place where God's glory will shine through you. What makes you one of the rare few? It's not your perfection, it's your persistence. It's the way you keep praying when answers are slow, the way you keep loving when hearts turn cold, the way you keep believing when the world says give up. You're not defined by your circumstances, you're defined by your calling. And that calling is magnetic. It draws provision, favor, and opportunities to you like stars aligning in the night sky. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Your future is not a question mark. It's a promise, sealed by the one who never breaks his word. But living as one of the rare few means embracing a new way of thinking. The world may tell you to hustle, to chase, to prove yourself. God says rest, trust, receive. Your prosperity isn't earned by striving, it's released by aligning with His purpose. Imagine a garden, its soil rich and ready, waiting for the right seeds to take root. Your heart is that garden, and every moment you choose faith over fear, you're planting seeds for a harvest of abundance. That harvest might look like a new job, a healed relationship, or a creative idea that changes your life. It might be the peace that settles in your soul, the kind that no bank balance can buy. Whatever form it takes, it's yours, chosen one, because you were made for this. Let's pause to reflect. What's one fear you've been holding on to that's keeping you from your destiny? Is it the fear of starting over, of being seen, of failing? Name it, not to shame it, but to claim victory over it. God isn't intimidated by your fear. He's ready to transform it. Like a sculptor chiseling away at stone, He's shaping you into a masterpiece, revealing the beauty that's been there all along. Your job is to trust the process, to believe that every chip, every cut, every moment of discomfort is part of your spiritual awakening. Now imagine this. A door stands before you, radiant and carved with your name in gold. On the other side is everything you've prayed for. Financial freedom, meaningful relationships, a life of purpose. The only thing between you and that door is the courage to turn the handle. You don't need to break it down, you just need to step forward. Joshua 1:9 says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." That door is open, chosen one, and heaven is waiting for you to walk through. But what if the fear you're facing is the very doorway to your divine provision? What if the step you're afraid to take is the one that unlocks the life you were born to live? Chosen one, let's hold that image of the radiant door before you. Its golden surface shimmering with the promise of a life transformed. That door isn't just a metaphor, it's a divine invitation. A portal to the destiny God has crafted for you. One of the rare few called to live with purpose, walk in abundance, and shine with unshakable faith. The fear you feel as you stand before it, whether it's the fear of rejection, the fear of stepping into something bigger than you've ever known, or the fear of leaving behind what's comfortable, is not a sign to turn back. It's a signal that you're closer than ever to your breakthrough. Picture a seed buried in dark soil, trembling as it breaks open to reach for the sun. That's you right now, chosen one, breaking through the weight of doubt to rise into a prosperous life. But what if the courage to open that door is already within you, waiting to be claimed? Let's make this tangible. Your destiny isn't a far-off dream, it's a reality, unfolding in the small, sacred choices you make today. Think of a man named Thomas, a teacher who felt trapped in a cycle of burnout, his passion for inspiring students dulled by years of routine. He feared change. Leaving his stable job for something new felt reckless. Yet in a quiet moment he wrote down his vision: to create a program for at-risk youth. That single act led him to share his idea with a colleague who introduced him to a local non-profit. Within months, Thomas was leading workshops, his heart reignited, his life overflowing with purpose. His fear didn't vanish, but it became the spark that lit his path to personal transformation. Your fear, chosen one, is just as powerful. It's the raw material God uses to sculpt your divine purpose. Now, let's lean into the truth of who you are. You're not defined by your past mistakes, your current struggles, or the opinions of those who couldn't see your worth. You're defined by the one who calls you chosen, who sees every moment of your journey as a thread in a tapestry of glory. Psalm 139:14 says, "I praise you, because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well." You are a masterpiece, not because of what you've done, but because of who God created you to be. Your fears, your doubts, your scars, they're not flaws. They're brushstrokes in a divine portrait, each one telling a story of resilience, faith, and grace. What does it look like to live as one of the rare few? It's not about chasing fleeting success or worldly approval. It's about walking in a rhythm of divine flow, where every step aligns with God's plan, where every decision reflects His provision. Imagine a dancer moving effortlessly across a stage, each movement precise, each gesture full of meaning. That's your life when you embrace your calling. Fluid, purposeful, radiant. You're not striving to prove yourself. You're living to express the truth God has placed within you. Your prosperity isn't just financial. It's the wealth of peace in your heart, the richness of relationships that honor your light, the abundance of ideas that flow like a river from heaven's source. Let's anchor this in a story. Meet Aisha, a graphic designer who spent years freelancing, barely making ends meet. She feared she'd never break out of the cycle of scraping by. But one evening, during her sacred space, a quiet hour with a candle and her journal, she felt a nudge to redesign her portfolio with bold, authentic work that reflected her faith. She took a bold step, sharing it with a small online community. A client saw it, hired her for a major project, and soon her work was featured in a national campaign. Aisha's fear of being too much didn't stop her. It pushed her to shine brighter. Your fear, chosen one, is doing the same. It's urging you to step into the fullness of your divine provision. Now let's talk about the lies fear tells you. It says you're not enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. But God's word counters every lie. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's vision for you is bigger than your fears, grander than your doubt. He sees you leading, creating, healing, thriving, not because you've earned it, but because He's ordained it. Your job is to trust His vision, to believe that the door before you leads to a life of overflowing blessings. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel the call to rise as one of the rare few, type "I am walking through the door" in the comments below. Let heaven hear your declaration and join a community of chosen ones embracing their faith journey together. Let's go deeper. What does it mean to walk through that door? It's not just about achieving a goal or checking a box. It's about becoming the person God created you to be, a vessel of light, a carrier of hope, a steward of divine abundance. Picture a vast orchard, its trees heavy with fruit, each one representing a dream, a relationship, a purpose God has planted in your life. Some fruits are ripe, ready to be picked. Others are still growing, needing time and care. Your role is to tend the orchard, to nurture what God has given you, to trust that every season has its purpose. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Your season of waiting is giving way to a season of harvest, but it starts with a single step of faith. Let's make this personal. What's one dream you've held back because it feels too big? Maybe it's starting a ministry, writing a book, or rebuilding a relationship. Fear might tell you it's impossible, but God says it's inevitable. He's not asking you to have all the answers. He's asking you to trust His provision. Think of Noah, building an ark when the world called him foolish. His fear didn't stop him. It drove him to obey. Your obedience, even in small moments, is building something eternal. Maybe it's signing up for that class, reaching out to that mentor, or simply speaking your dream aloud. Each act of courage is a brick in the foundation of your prosperous life. Now imagine the impact of your courage. When you step through that door, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the atmosphere around you. Your faith becomes a beacon, drawing others to their own breakthroughs. Picture a single candle in a dark room, its flames small but steady, lighting up the space for everyone nearby. That's you, chosen one. Your light inspires, your courage uplifts, your obedience shifts the world. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace, as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." Your overflow isn't just for you, It's for the lives you touch, the hearts you awaken, the destinies you ignite. Let's pause to reflect on the stakes. Fear wants to keep you stuck, to chain you to a life of what-ifs and not-yets. But God is calling you to a life of now and yes. He's inviting you to trade scarcity for abundance, doubt for clarity, fear for faith. You're not just surviving, you're stepping into a season where provision flows, where opportunities align, where your purpose becomes your reality. Imagine a sky filled with stars, each one a promise God has spoken over you. Some are bright, already shining. Others are still emerging, waiting for your faith to bring them into view. Your job is to keep looking up, to keep trusting, to keep moving forward. What's the next step you're hesitant to take? Maybe it's a conversation you've avoided, a project you've delayed, or a truth you've been afraid to claim. Whatever it is, God is with you. He's not just behind you, pushing you forward. He's ahead of you, preparing the way. Exodus 33:14 says, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Rest doesn't mean stopping. It means moving with peace, knowing your steps are ordered by the one who never fails. Your fear is not a dead end. It's a doorway to a life of divine purpose, where every challenge is a chance to shine. But what if the door you're facing feels heavier than you can lift? What if the step you need to take seems impossible without a miracle? That's where faith comes in. Not as a feeling, but as a choice, chosen one. Let's stay right there, standing before that radiant door, its weight seeming heavy, its promise vast and almost too grand to grasp. The fear that makes it feel impossible to open isn't a flaw in you. It's a sacred tension, a signal that you're on the verge of something eternal. Faith isn't the absence of that fear. It's the decision to trust God's strength when yours feels small. Picture a weary traveler at dusk, their lantern flickering, yet each step forward reveals a path glowing softly under heaven's gaze. That's you, chosen one, carrying a light that never goes out, even when the road feels daunting. Your miracle isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to choose faith over hesitation. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Your faith, however small it feels, is the key to a life of divine provision. But what if that single choice to trust is the spark that sets your destiny ablaze? Let's ground this in a story. There was a woman named Clara, a nurse who loved her work but felt a deeper calling to open a community health clinic for the underserved. The dream felt impossible. Funding was scarce, her schedule was grueling, and fear of failure loomed large. Yet in her sacred space, a quiet morning with her Bible open, she read Matthew 17:20, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move." Clara decided to trust, writing her vision for the clinic and sharing it with a trusted friend. That friend connected her to a local pastor who rallied the community. Within a year, Clara's clinic was serving dozens. Her fear transformed into a testimony of God's faithfulness. Her faith didn't erase the obstacles, it moved them. Your faith, chosen one, can do the same. It's the bridge between your fear and your prosperous life. Now, let's talk about the power of that choice. Choosing faith doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means seeing a higher truth. The world may show you closed doors, empty accounts, or broken dreams, but God shows you open heavens, divine connections, and purposes that endure. Imagine a tapestry, its threads vibrant and intricate, each one representing a moment of your life, your joys, your sorrows, your fears. From your view, it might look tangled, incomplete, But from God's perspective, it's a masterpiece, every thread woven with intention. Your choice to trust Him is a new thread shimmering with hope, adding beauty to the design. Psalm 37:5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him and He will do this." Your trust isn't passive. It's a bold act of surrender that invites heaven's power into your story. What does this look like in your life? Maybe you're facing a mountain, a debt that feels crushing, a career that no longer fits, a relationship strained by time or hurt. Fear might tell you to stay still, to avoid the risk of change, but faith says, step forward. You don't need the whole plan. You need the courage to act on the vision God has given you. Your 5 steps. Write your vision. Take one bold step. Speak life over your fear. Create a sacred space. Share your light. Are your tools to start. They're not a checklist to complete, but a rhythm to live by, a way to align your heart with God's promises. Each step is a declaration that you're one of the rare few called to a life of abundance, not limitation. Let's make this vivid. Imagine a vast desert, its sands stretching endlessly under a blazing sun. In the distance, an oasis glimmers lush, green, alive with water and shade. That oasis is your destiny, a place of rest, provision, and purpose. The desert is your fear, your doubt, the challenges that test your resolve. Faith is the path that leads you through, not around, the desert. Each step you take, writing your vision, speaking truth, sharing your light, brings the oasis closer. You're not wandering, you're guided. Isaiah 58:20-11 says, "The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame." Your strength isn't in your own power, but in the one who walks with you, turning barren places into springs of life. If this message is stirring your spirit, if you feel the pull to trust God's plan, type "My faith is moving mountains" in the comments below. Let heaven see your bold declaration and join a community of chosen ones walking in divine purpose together. Now, let's explore what happens when you choose faith over fear. It's not just about reaching a goal, it's about becoming someone new. A person who walks with quiet confidence, who sees challenges as invitations, who trusts God's timing even when the clock feels slow. Picture a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, its wings fragile yet strong, ready to soar. That's you, chosen one, shedding the old layers of doubt to rise into your spiritual awakening. Your faith isn't just changing your circumstances, it's transforming your soul, making you a beacon of hope in a world that needs your light. Let's anchor this in another story. Meet Javier, a young man who dreamed of becoming a filmmaker but feared he'd never break into an industry that felt out of reach. Growing up, he was told to choose a practical path, and fear kept him from pursuing his passion. But one day, during his sacred space, a late-night walk under the stars, he felt a nudge to create a short film about his community's resilience. He took a bold step, borrowing a camera and filming with friends. That film, shared online, caught the eye of a local festival organizer, leading to a mentorship that launched Javier's career. His fear didn't disqualify him. It was the catalyst for his personal transformation. Your fear, chosen one, is just as potent. It's the fuel for your divine moment. What makes your faith so powerful? It's not the size of your belief, but the depth of your trust. God doesn't measure your faith by how loudly you pray or how perfectly you perform. He sees the quiet yes in your heart, the choice to keep going when the way isn't clear. Think of the woman who touched Jesus' cloak in Luke 8:48. Her faith was trembling, desperate, yet Jesus said, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Your faith, even when it feels fragile, is enough to move heaven's hand. It's enough to open doors, to shift seasons, to bring you into a life of overflowing blessings. Now, let's talk about the rhythm of faith. It's not a one-time decision, but a daily dance, a way of living that keeps you aligned with God's purpose. Imagine a river carving its path through stone, steady and unhurried, yet unstoppable. That's your faith. Persistent, shaping your life with every choice to trust. Your sacred space is where you tune into this rhythm, hearing God's voice above the noise. Your bold steps are where you live it, turning dreams into reality. Your words of life are where you amplify it, speaking truth that reshapes your world. You're not just hoping for a breakthrough, you're building it, one faithful choice at a time. Let's make this personal. What's one area of your life where fear has been loudest? Maybe it's your finances, where every bill feels like a battle. Maybe it's your purpose, where you wonder if you're on the right path. Or maybe it's your heart, where past wounds make trust feel risky. Whatever it is, God is inviting you to bring it to Him. 1 Peter 5:7 says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you." Your fears aren't burdens to carry alone. They're offerings to lay at His feet, trusting He'll turn them into stepping stones for your destiny. Now, imagine the freedom of living without fear's weight. Picture yourself waking each morning with a lightness in your soul, knowing your needs are covered, your path is guided, your purpose is secure. That's the life God designed for you, not one of scarcity or striving, but one of peace, provision, and power. You're one of the rare few, chosen to show the world what it looks like when faith triumphs over fear, when trust opens doors no human hand can shut. Revelation 3:8 says, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." That door is yours, chosen one, glowing with promise, waiting for your next step. But what if the miracle you're waiting for is already in motion, hidden in the small acts of faith you're taking today? Chosen one, let's hold fast to that image of the miracle already in motion, stirring in the quiet choices you make, the small acts of faith that ripple outward like stones dropped into a still lake. The door before you, radiant with your name etched in gold, isn't locked. It's waiting for you to trust that the miracle isn't just coming, it's already here, unfolding in the moments you choose to move forward despite uncertainty. Imagine a sunrise breaking over a horizon you thought would stay dark forever. Its light spilling across your path, revealing beauty where you once saw only shadow. That's your life right now, chosen one, a divine unfolding, where every step of faith aligns you with a destiny of abundance and purpose. Your miracle isn't a distant event, it's woven into the fabric of your daily courage. John 16:33 says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Your faith, even when it wavers, is part of the victory God is crafting through you. But what if the smallest step you take today is the one that unlocks a floodgate of divine provision? Let's anchor this with a story. There was a man named Malik, a mechanic who loved his craft but felt trapped in a job that offered no growth. He dreamed of opening his own shop, a place where he could serve his community with integrity. But fear of financial ruin kept him stuck. One evening, during his sacred space, a quiet moment in his garage, he wrote down his vision. A shop where every customer felt valued. He took a bold step, saving a small portion of each paycheck for his dream. That discipline caught the attention of a regular customer, a retired business owner, who offered to mentor Malik and connect him with a loan program. Today, Malik's shop thrives, not just as a business, but as a hub of hope for his neighborhood. His fear didn't stop him. It guided him to trust God's timing. Your fear-chosen one is doing the same. It's a compass pointing you toward your prosperous life. Now, let's talk about the power of those small steps. Faith isn't always a grand leap. Sometimes it's a single word spoken in truth, a single choice to act despite doubt. Your 5 steps. Write your vision. Take one bold step. Speak life over your fear. create a sacred space, share your light, are like seeds planted in fertile soil, each one carrying the potential for a harvest of overflow. They're not about perfection. They're about persistence. Every time you choose to write, to act, to speak, to pause, to give, you're telling the universe you're ready for more. You're signaling to heaven that you're one of the rare few, ready to steward the blessings God has prepared. Picture a gardener tending a single sprout, watering it daily, trusting it will grow into a mighty tree. That's your faith, nurturing the small beginnings of your divine purpose. What does this look like in your life? Maybe it's the courage to apply for a job you feel underqualified for, trusting God's favor to open the door. Maybe it's the decision to forgive someone, not because they've earned it, but because your heart deserves peace. Or maybe it's the choice to start that project you've delayed, a blog, a business, a conversation, knowing that God's provision follows your obedience. Romans 10:17 says, "Faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ." Every time you align your actions with God's word, you're building faith that moves mountains. Faith that transforms scarcity into abundance. Let's make this vivid. Imagine a vast ocean, its waves rolling with purpose, carrying treasures from distant shores to your feet. Each wave is a moment of faith, bringing you closer to your destiny. The ocean doesn't rush, it flows with divine rhythm, steady and sure. Your life is like that ocean now, moving with purpose, guided by a force greater than yourself. Your fears are like the wind, stirring the surface, but not stopping the current. The current, every time you choose faith, you ride the wave, letting it carry you to places you couldn't reach on your own. Your destiny isn't something you force. It's something you flow into, trusting God's timing and provision. If this message is sparking something in your soul, if you feel the pull to live as one of the rare few, type "My miracle is in motion" in the comments below. Let heaven hear your faith and join a community of chosen ones, embracing their divine flow. Now let's dive deeper into the flow of faith. Living as one of the rare few means seeing every moment as sacred, every challenge as an opportunity to trust. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with a heart anchored in God's promises. Picture a warrior, armored not with steel but with light, standing firm against a storm. That's you, chosen one, equipped with divine strength, radiant with purpose, unshaken by the winds of fear. Your faith isn't fragile. It's forged in the fire of your trials, made stronger by every moment you've chosen to believe. Let's ground this in another story. There was a woman named Elena, a writer who feared her voice would never be heard. She'd written stories for years, but rejection after rejection made her question her gift. Fear told her to quit, but in her sacred space, a quiet corner with a notebook, she felt a nudge to share one story online. She spoke life over her fear, declaring, "My words are a gift from God." That post led to a comment from a reader who shared it with a publisher. Within months, Elena's first book was in print, inspiring thousands. Her fear didn't silence her, it sharpened her voice. Your fear, chosen one, is doing the same. It's refining your gift, preparing you to shine. What sets you apart as one of the rare few? It's your ability to see beyond the visible, to trust beyond the tangible. The world may see your struggles, but God sees your strength. The world may see your delays, but God sees your divine timing. The world may see your fear, but God sees your faith. Psalm 27:14 says, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord." Waiting doesn't mean passivity. It means trusting actively, moving forward with the assurance that God is aligning every detail for your... Let's make this personal. What's one area where you've been waiting, where fear has made you pause? Maybe it's a dream you've shelved, a relationship you've avoided repairing, or a truth you've hesitated to claim. God isn't asking you to have all the answers. He's asking you to trust His process. Your 5 steps are your guide. Write your vision to claim it. Take a bold step to move it. Speak life to empower it. Create a sacred space to hear it. Share your light to multiply it. These steps aren't just tasks. They're a lifestyle, a way of living that keeps you connected to God's flow. Imagine a symphony, each note precise, each instrument playing its part to create a harmony that stirs the soul. That's your life when you live in faith. Every choice, every act, every word a note in God's masterpiece. Your fears are the pauses, the moments of tension that make the melodies sweeter. You're not just playing a solo, you're part of a divine orchestra, creating something beautiful that echoes beyond your lifetime. Your destiny is generational, chosen one, a legacy of faith that will inspire those who come after you. Let's pause to reflect. What's one fear you can turn into a step of faith today? Maybe it's writing that vision you've kept hidden, reaching out to someone who can help, or speaking a truth you've held back. Whatever it is, know that God is with you. His presence a shield, His provision a promise. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." Your faith is tapping into that power, unlocking a life of abundance that surpasses your wildest dreams. Now, imagine the impact of your faith. When you choose to trust, you're not just changing your story, you're rewriting the narrative for those around you. Your courage inspires your family, your friends, your community. Picture a single spark igniting a wildfire, spreading light and warmth across a darkened land. That's your faith, chosen one, a spark that sets hearts ablaze, that transforms lives through your obedience. You're not just living for yourself, you're living for the countless souls who need your light. But what if the miracle you're seeking is already hidden in the faith you're building, in the choices you're making, in the courage you're claiming right now? Chosen one, let's linger on that spark of faith within you, that quiet fire growing brighter with every choice to trust, every moment you refuse to let fear write your story. The miracle you're seeking isn't a distant hope. It's alive in the courage you summon today, in the small acts that align your heart with God's eternal design. Imagine a vast canvas stretched across the heavens, each brush stroke a decision you make. Each color a moment of faith that adds vibrancy to the masterpiece of your life. You're not just painting for yourself,